Alright, yeah, from the Hollywood Ben. I'm going to give you the rundown on the telepathy we did, contacting those huge UFOs circling the sun. A lot of you know about them. They're posted on YouTube, UFOs in the sun. There's 7 of them. 3 of them are the size of the Earth. 1 of them is the size of Jupiter. So if anybody was going to beam people aboard a spaceship, this would be the guys. So this would be the tribulation the Christians were talking about, and it certainly, from looking around, seems like the tribulation. Although this is not a slap in the face from God. This is a deliberate attempt by a group named HAARP, H-A-A-R-P, Super Electronic Weapons, to destroy most of the North American life to create farms for China. And it's really as simple as that. No one was apt to figure it out because it's so heinous that one could hardly believe it. But meanwhile, our group, Mystical Humanoids, got together around 140, 150 people to connect and make an etheric bridge to bounce the psychics in the group over there to talk to these people on the ship. And I'm going to read you my results. The rest of the results are posted on Mystical Humanoids. The old event results are posted on Mystical Humanoids, excuse me. This event is posted on Mystical Souls in the discussion sessions. So this is state-of-the-art information that's constantly being badgered and hammered. My videos on YouTube under Ben A. Harris, the ones dealing with telepathy and tremendous views about Mars showing people, are being broken up. So the government's at work, my friend, and this is our country. We need to take it back. Meanwhile, here's what I experienced approaching those UFOs, riding the etheric bridge. Started 15 minutes early, merged by Catwoman, who's one of our ongoing telepathic women. She's roughly 75% human, 25% cat, and she operates as like a, well, I don't know what to say exactly, like a policewoman, would I guess be the closest, on Mars, excuse me, on Venus. She was brimming with sexual energy. I started to glow myself. She wants to audit the event, as she's in on the etheric bridge now, as anything that touches it is part of it. And she would like to audit it and go along. So the first thing that happens when that bridge hits right at 6 o'clock, I go flying out of my body like a cannonball. And of course, if she's auditing, she's with me. And I enter like a beautiful olive green on green, velvet green on green room. Just absolutely beautiful, soft moss green room. And I'm beckoned to follow glowing golden globes, small and large, forming a crown. And it's sort of bouncing along like scales on a musical sheet. And I follow it. And then, apparently, from there I enter a pink room. It's a beautiful, pink, long, thin room. At the end of the room, a huge rounded mirror. And because of the angle of the wall, I can see half the man's head who's in front of the mirror getting himself ready for something. Looks like a tuxedo he has on. I can see the back of his hair. And I sort of implore him that I'm coming to seeking help. And he indicates to me to, like, have a good time. And off he goes. So at the end of the half an hour, when the event was over and the concentration and the focus was starting to dim, I entered my body, but I found myself in between dimensions talking to a waving see-through glass wall with embedded cloisonnés that were very extremely intricate and almost like webs. And then I found myself back in my body. Now here's some of the notes that are following, because a little later I was over at the restaurant I like to go here in Hollywood. Has a view of the planetarium, so nice, good home-cooked food. And I felt what felt like on the side of my head, no, the other side, over here, like a metal drill coming into my head. And I thought the FBI is monitoring these events. Maybe they're doing their transmission sound that Jesse Ventura talks about on me. But basically, it was like a messenger from the ship, and it said I had been cleared for some kind of communication. It's almost like a press pass. So I found that very nice and was very honored indeed that would happen. Okay, so then, all right, so I make a few more attempts there, and I remember one attempt was going into like what seemed like a hallway, like if you were to go into a big modern mall and get into the hall walkway that was all glass and nice with beautiful railings and all, but led nowhere. That's where I entered in one attempt there, and bumped into somebody. It was probably a caretaker, didn't know what to say. I told him about the problem. He sort of said he was sorry to hear that. Then he was like out of the picture. So there was that. Then there was another one. See this one here. Yeah, here's the one about the head. Okay, and one of the things that I seemed to notice was the preoccupation. Now, some of the other people reported running into beings who seemed preoccupied and somewhat indifferent. And it turns out that on a subsequent visit there, since I've been cleared, I got in more to some actual dialogue. And it turns out that their basic job is more like repair, reforestation, and they're not handling day-to-day problems, but they see the dilemma, and they seem to be more than on top of it. These aren't ordinary people. They seem to have, I think, every square inch and every atom cataloged somehow. I would not sell them short as far as knowing what's going on here. The question is, are they allowed to interfere? And I kind of think that these ships are what they refer to as the tribulation, and I think that when it starts getting so crappy down here that human life can't sustain itself anymore outside of that HARP grid, that these dummies kill themselves. They're going to go into those underground cities and they think they're going to be safe there, 1,500 of them in the North American continent. But what happens if there are tremendous earthquakes as called for in the scriptures? They'll be crushed to death like ants. So I think during this period not to be afraid and follow the linear reasoning. The fourth dimension and the third dimension are merging. People with heavy karmic chains are going to be dragged and held down into the third, while those of us who've been trying to do what's right will float into the fourth, wondering what the noise is behind us. Have some faith. We didn't get here by accident. Anyway, these are the telepathy results. And anyone who participated is connected to that etheric bridge. You can go to that etheric bridge in your mind's eye, crawl into the beautiful gold caverns of the higher thought, and from there accelerate out into pure white and pink and blue light, and contact the higher beings that make things happen, because after all, this universe most certainly not an accident. Here's a PS. I forgot to add this. I was finally received by a being quite visual in the Pineal Theater, and his name was Cassaggio, very similar to Andrew Bassaggio. I wonder if there's some kind of ironic humor going on there. But he assured me that they had tremendous powers, especially with time. And then he proceeded to show me his visage, how it forms itself in different different places in time. Now, that was incredible. It was an incredible experience visually. But I got the picture that they have tremendous powers, and they know the plight that we're having here. And I got a feeling that if anybody's going to be beamed up, these are the guys that are going to do it. This was quite an experience, and almost like an honor to receive this guy.
Hey, welcome to the Awaken United. Hey, welcome to the Awaken United.